Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a good day today. A little bit slower today than it was yesterday, but there was some good opportunities out there. Just had to be patient, and that's what we need to be in this market, is being patient, allowing it to come to us, not trying to force anything. And we were patient Monday and didn't take a trade. Should have been a little bit more patient yesterday. Started the day out on the wrong foot, but we ended strong. Today we were patient. So it's all about being patient. And some of the things that, I shared with you guys the other day, my education model is what I brought over from my teaching days, and it works great. But I kind of broke it down into baby steps because I like things simple and I like to present things simple. So, it's never too late to start improving and to start winning more. If you guys have been trying to be consistent, to consistently make money, you're struggling to finish the week green. What I do can help you. If you trust and believe in the process, it's all about building that foundation, establishing a base that you will become confident and you can always fall back on when things start to fade away. So, one of the biggest questions I've been getting about my small account reset, it's not a challenge. I'm not challenging myself. It is very stupid to come in and try to trade and say you're going to challenge yourself to do this or challenge yourself to do that. The last thing you need to put on yourself when you trade is pressure, because that causes you to make mistakes and start to do stupid things, and before you know it, you've lost all your money. This small account thing is real life. This is where I started. You can go back, read my blog from when I started it. You can see everything that I've been through, everything that I've learned and how I've gotten to the point, how I worked my way out of my job. It took time. It didn't happen overnight. I didn't snap my fingers and poof, I was here. I worked hard. There was a process that I came up with based on my experience in all these other communities. Every community I was in, I learned a little bit from. I learned what I liked, what I didn't like. And I was able to shape it, mold it, establish a process. And, it works. If you believe in it and trust in it, it works. And that's what I'm trying to teach you. That's what I'm sharing with you. This small account is not the only thing that I do. We trade the all-day holds. We make pretty good money on those. I swing trade. We make pretty good money on that. I have a long-term investment account that I make, longer-term swings, and I make money on that. So this isn't hurting me at all. This really satisfies my thirst and my need and my desire to teach, because that's what I was. That's what I am. I'm still that. You don't just turn that off. So I offered the subscription because, I don't want you guys to get caught up in this concept of time. If you sign up for a quarter, you get to stay with me the rest of the year. That means your subscription will run through to December 31st. And in this time, I really feel confident that I can help you build a foundation, build your base, and get you to where you can be a consistent, profitable trader. But you got to trust the process. You got to understand. You got to perfect the small before you can blow up big. And I know not everybody agrees with me, but that's what makes the world go around. That's why everything is interesting. That's why we've got, 100 people out here teaching what they do, because it's more than one way to do it, and it's like an art form. And so this is what I come up with. This is real. I live this life. Not many of us have $30,000 to put in an account to start it. And if I had to wait until I saved it, like some people told me, I would still be at that job, and I would still be trying to save $30,000. And you just don't have to do that. You can start with a little bit of money. You can start small. Yes, it's tough, but I believe that is what made me. Starting the way I started, having to deal with all of this stuff, having to get tough, is what got me to where I am. And I think that's what's going to help you guys get to where you want to be. It's going to be hard. You got to be disciplined. But it's never too late to start improving and to start winning your trades more. My thing is, we learn one strategy at a time. We master that strategy. We learn it inside and out, forward and backwards, long, short, all of it. Then we learn the secondary trades off of it. I can make a living just trading one strategy and the secondary trades off of that one strategy. That's it. It's that simple. I help you simplify your charts. You only need to have on there what's important to your strategy. You got to practice. Like I said before, if you can't pay anybody to give you screen time. You have to put that time in yourself. You can't buy experience from anybody. I can share my experiences with you and guide you on a path that my experience says is going to be better for you, but I can't pour my experience into you, because you got to put that time in. I'm going to help you develop the proper risk management strategy, help you develop the discipline, the type discipline that we had to have Monday to sit on our hands, the type discipline that I needed to have yesterday not to trade in the morning, wait, or be a little bit more patient. We start out, we aim for small, consistent wins, because if you average, let's say over a month, you average $50 a day, that's $1,000 that you've made for the month. Okay, in addition to whatever job you're doing, but this is an extra $1,000 you can put in your account that you can add, so that when we get to 30 grand, you can get into the account that you want to get into. But you don't have to sit around and wait. You're learning, you're growing, you're building confidence. These are key, because that person that doesn't do anything until they get all their money and then come out and try to trade will probably lose it all. So why not start learning, gaining your experience, taking your hard knocks, taking your lumps? Because I don't care where you start, you're gonna get lumps, you're gonna get knocked down. That's just the nature of this beast. But why not do it small, to where you don't lose a whole lot, to where you can start gaining consistency, without really hurting yourself. So that's what this is all about. So if you have that, that desire, come and join us. It can't hurt you to spend 6 months trying to get your foundation built. So let's look at yesterday. Yesterday, here's a mistake I made on this. Number one, the stocks that I like to trade opening range are earnings. I love that catalyst. And there are going to be periods of time throughout the year where I'm not going to get these earnings. It's like a month between the end of one earnings season and the beginning of another, and there's just this lull. And that's where we are right now. And the summer even makes it worse because of the lack of volume. So if I decide to put this on watch, and really I put this stock on watch because I didn't have a watch Monday, because there was nothing worth trading Monday. And, you know, for me, the stocks that I look at, the price range, you know, it just wasn't there. But there are hundreds, there's not hundreds, but there's many strategies, and there's always going to be a strategy or two that's going to be hot when yours is not. That's just the way it is. So this, I should have waited for the close below the opening range low. If you're going to trade a B stock and not an A stock, you need to wait for confirmation. And I didn't here. Ended up getting stopped out. I should have cut it off here. Should have saved myself about $20, $25, but I didn't. I let it run up and hit my stop. And then I got 7-cent slippage on top of that. My stop was at 28. And I gave it 50 cents. I got 7-cent slippage on it. So that was an added slap in the face. Now here's what we should have done over here. This is the continuation. I could have taken it up here on the rejection, but I felt we were too close to this opening range low, and this often ends up being support. So I waited till we got below it. I just kind of used the same entry strategy that I would if it was an opening range breakdown. Waited for this candle to close below it. This candle opened, it pushed up a little bit. Once it broke the low, I got in. But I made another mistake. When we were basing here, I should have taken it off. But instead of that, I just put in a stop way up here and decided that I was going to go to lunch. And that this thing would probably push up and reject here and sell off the rest of the day. Well, that didn't happen. It turned around and stopped me out. You know, this damn thing just pushed up through everything. Went right up to the 50 and stopped me out. So just not very smart moves here. I should have just taken it here, waited till we got back from lunch and to see, you know, what was going to happen. But, you know, just a very loose start to the day. And I know it was because I felt the pressure from not trading on Monday. And that's another thing that we talk about, is dealing with the pressures. You know, not putting pressure on yourself. You know, the pressure should be do the right thing so you can be the right model. Not you need to take a trade so nobody gets mad. You know, that can't happen. So that was on PAGS. We lost a little over 116 bucks on it. But SRPT, we kind of took advantage of this thing. Only trading 100 shares and 50 shares. We got this, and we were looking at this earlier. And, you know, people were asking in the room, should we take it on this break once it loses the 20? And I said, you know, no, I think it's going to pull back. I wait for the pullback. So we waited for the pullback and we came through. I still didn't really like the price action. So I waited until we broke the low of this candle here and I got in. First target was right here at the 50 because the 50 has been king lately. This is where a lot of moves have been stuffed. I mean, look at right here, right on the 50, right here, right on the 50. So that was my target. I left some on just in case so we could, you know, get down to the 100. But once we started to turn around, the price action showed me that we were going other way. I took it off, locked in that profit, and I waited until we got below the 50. Once we got below the 50, I got in 100 shares. I wanted to get in 50 because of the way the volatility in it at that point. And I just kind of got spooked and ended up taking it all off. I did not want, with a $50 max loss, and this stock was swinging, over $1. You don't go in 100 shares. You go in 50 and let it work. The range on this stock was incredible, so that you can make good money off of this. But then I got back in with my 50 shares and, took it off. I thought we were going to make it. We didn't quite make it. So I took it off for some profit here. But left my stop on. Forgot and left my stop on. And by the time I saw somebody reminding me in chat that my stop was still on, it had gotten hit. And so, we got it was a long. It worked out. So I went ahead and jumped long after that, and was able to make some money on it. So almost $500, and we only traded 100 shares and then 50 shares the rest of the day. I mean, it was the most ideal stock that we could get into. But it was just a matter of being patient and allowing, the day to work. All right, so, here's the daily on the SRPT. And you can see, this is what we saw this as we were selling off. We saw that, and I just wanted to wait for it to bounce. Because I know every time we get through this, it's just like on a VWAP. As it gets through this, we look for the bounce. And I look for it to reject VWAP. If it does, I'm going to get in. And so, I felt I traded this about as good as I could. We missed the big move, but being patient and waiting for it to set up allowed us to get a little bit of this. And, $500 was not bad at all. And that wasn't even clean trading. All right, so today we did StarBucks, and again, this was kind of a secondary trade. I didn't have this on watch, even though it was on the scanner. For some reason, I didn't put it on watch, and it was a high float, so it didn't hit my opening range scan. It hit the main gapper scan. So I didn't put it on watch, but I still had the chart up. And once it came back and retested this, I could have got in a little bit earlier, but I wanted to wait. Just like yesterday, I wanted to be patient and wait to break the low so we can make a new low. And I got in. And today, I wanted to show why I scale out, okay, and why I think scaling out is more profitable. And you can see that today. All of this trading, all of these good moves, and we only made $108. That in itself should let you know. I mean, it tells me I can't trade the same stock two ways, but me scaling out, would have allowed me to make more profit. Here, I took it all off and then got back in when we got below 53. And took it off when we got to, this was the 52-week low. And then I wanted to get in again once we held below the 52-week low to see how, low we can go. But I ended up getting stopped out here and then waited for the rejection got in once we broke the low of that candle, and took some off here, and this is where I started to scale out, and really should have took some here, to show this would be a more profitable trade. Should have took some off here. We didn't get quite the 51.50, and as it turned around, I went ahead and took it off. But we were patient and just really wanted you guys to see the two ways you can trade this. If you're not comfortable scaling out, you can take it all off and get back in, just like I did here. This is the way I used to trade before I was taught how to scale out, and the importance of scaling out, and how important it's going to be once you increase your share size. Because our number one priority is book and profit. That's our job. Book profit. If we don't book profit, it's not going to happen for us. All right, so this I want to show you. Okay, this is what you see if you're in the room. This is the screen share. You see, I've got this squeezed in as much as I can so I can have all my scans running. But you get to see, everything. So I'm gonna start to play this. This is SBU. This is me getting ready to get in this trade. And what I'm doing through this process, and you'll see my cursor move too. I'm talking about what I'm looking for. What am I looking for to happen before I take in this trade? What conditions do I want to see happen? And you get to see the trade actually hit. So you'll see this in a minute. And, my scans that I use, honestly, I don't use scans in the middle of the day, unless I see one on a reversal scan and it looks like it's going to be a good continuation, or it looks like it's going to be a real good reversal, then I'll trade it. RSI extreme scan I use to look for continuation patterns as well. So those that want help finding opening range attempts, this gives you stocks that are setting up for 5-minute opening range breakout or breakdown. But you just have to be quick with those. All right, so you're gonna see this sell off here, but I wanted to share this with you so you guys can see exactly how this works. So I'm gonna jump forward here, and I'm also gonna start recording the morning sessions. So this is the recording that you guys are gonna see. The members are gonna get. You're gonna get a recording of that morning. It'll have audio as well, but it'll probably be the first 2 hours or up until I go to lunch. That's what I'm gonna have out. Alright, I'm gonna push it up a little bit. Alright, here we go. So you're gonna see me take a position here. I was waiting on it to break the low of this. You see here, I'm explaining it, that I was waiting on that to break, and we took a position here. So I'm drawing the trend line, and here I'm showing you this is my line in the sand. This was the line that I was looking for to break. And I'm setting it up. And the whole time I'm explaining to you exactly what I'm doing. So let's fast forward it a little bit more. as the trade is working. You know, I'm talking to you about what I'm looking for. And you see I've got a limit order down here at 50. That's my target. So you'll see sometimes I'll have a limit order waiting, you know, out here. And if it doesn't, I'll take it off and then I'll do the manual deal. So I changed it, put it at 50.05. And you can see this thing, it kept teasing me. But what I wanted to show you was, you know, this is what you would see. And this is what we would go through, you know, in chat. So you get to see the actual, these trades that I'm recapping, you get to see, you know, actually happen. And you get to hear me talk through it. And all that good stuff. So, last but not least, I did cover, or not cover, but sell another 100 shares of this PLNT swing. So, you know, doing real good. Doing real good. I think we picked up another. Realized I think we picked up another 500, over 500 bucks, closer to 550 on this cover. So I think we're about 1,400 bucks, close to $1,400 so far on this swing trade. So got 100 shares left, and we're just gonna see how far we can go. This has pulled back, but today was a solid breakout day. We'll see if we can continue the momentum tomorrow. But these 52-week highs and these 20 crossovers, this was a 20 crossover. Once you got it, our first target was up here at the high day. 52-week high, which was right here at the time. We got that. 44. And now, you know, we're looking, it's knocking on 48. So it's going to be very interesting going forward here. So that was it for me today. I know this was a little bit long, but sorry about that. The rest of them aren't going to be as long. I just had to cover 2 days worth of stuff. And I wanted to show you what it looks like in the chat room. Alright guys, so take it easy. Have a great night. And I will see you guys in the morning.